welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and season fans alike. My name is Shannon.
And I'm Angelica.
And happy summertime.
Yeah, officially July.
Yeah. We had planned to do this episode like on summer solstice week, like really start summer, but things have gone behind it. It's still summer. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
It's the summertime.
So as the episode title suggests, today we're going to do a little investigation into SMTOWN summer albums. We first were like introduced to this on the show in our 2002 first half deep dive. We talked about this like SMTOWN summer vacation album. And I looked at the melon and was like, wow, SMTOWN has put out like 20 albums, like summers and winters. And like, it would be fun to take a look at those. So we're starting with summer because it's summer. And yeah, we just want to like look at these albums and like what was on them and why do we think SM made them and why don't they make them anymore? And just questions I had about them.
Yeah, we just wanted to take a look and see what was this all about. Because this is so each one of these albums, for the most part, came out with like a title track that had a whole slew of SM artists. So it's like SMTOWN is the SM family of all the groups that are signed on at the time. And it used to be something that they put out like almost every year. And then they kind of started spacing them out more and more, and they just like petered out, and they do not do them anymore, like period. So yeah, we're going to take a little look back and see what this was all about.
Yeah, and I'm very excited because, you know, I have a real soft spot for like first gen, early second gen K-pop. There's just something that's like really fun and cheesy and weird about it. And I also think I just have a lot of nostalgia, and like, especially in these music videos, since they're wearing like regular clothes, it like reminds me of when I was in high school because they wear the clothes that I was wearing then. And like, I don't know, I just have a lot of nostalgia for this time period. So I like exploring it. It's fun to me.
It's also very fun because they are like SMTOWN, SM family songs and music videos that like you get to see them all interacting and stuff in ways that we don't necessarily get to anymore, because we always lament the loss of those like second gen shows like that just had, you know, 6 different groups all on the stage and they got to interact and whatever, tell stories and perform for each other and stuff, and like those things don't exist anymore.
Yeah,
you, like never see people talk to each other.
Yeah, like I was saying, if you listen to our Queendom Patreon episodes, there were a couple of episodes of this season of Queendom 2 where all the groups like mixed and did performances with each other and like had this little like camp out episodes, and I fucking loved them. And it was just like, this is all I want is like people who don't usually interact getting to interact. That's all I want out of my K-pop, okay? And these have a lot of that.
Yes.
So let's get into it. So I went looking to see how these came about, and it appears that SMTOWN put out their first company album for Christmas in 1999. Okay. So we'll get to the Christmas episode, the Christmas albums at Christmas time. They did release one this year, like after forever. They did put a winter album out this year. So we'll have something to talk about. But I wanted to see if like SM was the first company to do this, and it appears that the first YG family album came out 6 months before the first SM Christmas album. So this might be a time where SM didn't start a trend. YG did it first, but they only made like 2 YG family albums. Okay. And as far as I checked like JYP and other stuff, and I couldn't find evidence of other companies doing these like
putting out a full album
company
like this.
album.
Yeah. Because every once in a while they'll do like a YG family song or something. Like they've come up a couple of times. I think one of them was on our like K-pop Christmas song episode. Wasn't there a YG one? I remember like a baby
for
BTS.
Patreon this year. Y'all haven't heard that if you're not patrons, but we did like a Christmas music videos Patreon
plug
episode.
For Patreon. But yes, SM is like one of the only companies, if not the only, that has put out these like full albums and multiple years in a row, and 2 a year for a while. Yeah. Because of this winter and summer motif.
But like overall looking at the albums, and we'll talk about it more as we get into them, but they seemed like mostly an opportunity to give singles to artists whose groups had left the company and they're left with these stray like solo artists. And so these albums were a way for like Kangta to put songs out, is kind of like mostly the vibe. But there was a lot of most of the albums contain like a single that was promoted by a singular group as a regular single, even though it only appears on these compilation albums.
Yeah, I remember coming across a few of those when we did our TVXQ deep dive and our BOA deep dive, where we would have these singles that was like, but it was only on the SMTOWN album, but it's just a BOA track or it's just a TVXQ track or whatever. So the album itself is not all like the title track, where the title track has everybody on it and then every song on the album has everybody on it. It's really not like that at all.
No.
It's more of like a compilation album,
yeah,
but with original tracks.
Yes, for the most part. It's very interesting. They don't really have
a pattern or
a pattern. The only pattern I will say they have is that the general theme of all of these albums is a really specific cruise ship Disney parade. It's like a kind of music that like only exists to be in like a Disney parade or in a cruise ship
like
commercial.
A resort, all-inclusive commercial. There's come on down to Sandals. Yeah.
Something about them all that is just like, how do you like capture this very specific vibe? But they do. So let's get into it. And our very first SMTOWN summer album was released on June 12th, 2002, and it was called 2002 Summer Vacation in SMTOWN.com.
I love that it's the whole SMTOWN.com.
Yes, all of it. And as discussed in our 2002 episode, this album went to #1 and sold over 200,000 copies that year and like was a big album because all of the groups on it were big and like it was a new fun popular. Big thing. The album cover of this one is like a dark, like cerulean kind of blue that stays like the theme for all of these albums. It's like a very specific shade of blue. Sure. And it's 29 headshots.
Oh my God.
In little squares, like all across the front of all the people who are on the album.
Like a maniacal Brady Bunch.
And then there's also an alternate cover that's on streaming sites that's a white background and everyone sitting in those same cerulean blue clothes. Except one guy who's wearing an orange long sleeve shirt and he sticks out so much on the album cover.
Who is he?
I don't know who. I don't know who he is. That's the only sad I have of these is that like I can't pick Blackbeat out of a lineup. Like I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with some of these people to be like I know what Kangta looks like. I know what Moon Hee-jun looks like, but like I don't know what Blackbeat looks like. I don't really know what the Shinhwas look like.
Sure.
I know who the Fly to the Skies are now because there's only two. But anyway, the main group single with everybody on it for this one is called Summer Vacation. Everybody come on, summer dancing, all right, go. So all of the people featured in this music video, we have Kangta and Moon Hee-jun, the former HOTs, Shinhwa, Fly to the Sky, Milk and Shinvi, who are two groups who we've covered in 2001 and 2002 episodes because they only put out one comeback and then did SMTOWN songs until they were disbanded. Blackbeat, who we've also talked about. That's the boy group that are all trainers at SM now.
Yes.
And then Donna, who at the time was just a solo artist, but I think she will be in The Grace eventually.
Okay.
And then BoA, of course. So yeah, we've discussed this music video before, but like it's mostly like group and close-ups in front of like a shiny fabric that's like waving like waves.
And like different colors of like this cheapo fabric like blowing in the background for their one shots and close-ups.
And then they do like water sports on a lake, jet skis and boats and tubing. There's bungee jumping.
Yeah.
All the dudes are wearing, except Moon Hee-jun, obviously. All the dudes are wearing tank tops and have their fucking guns out. And they have the little visors with no tops and their bleached hair sticking out of the top. I love it. And then we talked about this in the 2002 episode, but the first time they show Moon Hee-jun in his purple Kate Gosselin a haircut, and he's wearing like long sleeves
Yeah.
and pants and sunglasses, and like it's jarring, and you're like, oh my God, what are you doing here?
Because I also think he's wearing black or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
he
just
looks all goth and weird.
Yes, and his hair is like, I mean, arguably a beautiful purple
It's
ombre.
gorgeous color. Gorgeous color.
But he's like the only one who has wild colored hair, and then like his whole look is just not screaming summertime or summer vacation. But it's a really like fun. There's even like there's a part where they like break to like say their names.
Yes,
like you're at like Disney camp. Yeah.
Donna! They like say their names all fast. Yeah.
Yeah. I looked to see what kind of lyrics we had because is famous for having questionable English in their tunes. And these songs kind of varied between like how much English they had in them. For the most part, this song is just about like the chorus is like make a summer dance.
Come on summer days and here we go.
Yeah. Do you know summer? I know summer. And it's just like, yeah, it's summertime. But there is one verse that I thought was odd, which is like a rap break in the middle. And it says, I've been around for the week, for the more blow. Hasta la vista, love for the beach. Penitentiary to please the freak, so I be.
Oh my God. First gen rap is so bad.
Penitentiary to please the freak, so I be?
So I be.
What does that mean?
So I be.
So I be.
I wonder if it's a case of like, because I
Put
know.
that into Google Translate.
Yes, because
yeah.
I know for a fact that like the fun English rap in Tomboy, like I like to dance, I like my friends, is apparently because she wrote it in Korean and it was too vulgar in Korean and they made her put the whole thing in English so it wouldn't sound so crass.
That's really funny.
But then it ends up being like kind of a weird
yeah.
English rap. But it could be like a thing of them just like getting the dictionary out and just like finding the English word and being like, this is a good rap. Like
I guess the flow of it.
Yeah, it sounds real fast and no one knows what they're saying, so like they seem cool, right? Like, wow, they're rapping in another language. They're so awesome.
Exactly. I also looked to see at all the YouTube comments for these music videos to see like, because these are old songs, like is anyone still listening to them? How recent is the most recent comment? And like what's the vibe? What are people on the streets saying about these songs? So the most recent comment on this one was from 13 days ago.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
pretty recently. General vibe is just loving all the SM visuals and like thanking the remastering project and like, why don't we make more of these? Can we please make some now? But my two favorite comments were first, Boa was the baby of SME during that gen. Now she's the mother queen of Kwangya. And then somebody else also, Kwangya mentioned number 2. I'm not going to just ignore the butterfly on Boa's shirt. In Kwangya, we follow the butterfly, right?
Oh my
So
God. People can look
making
for Kwangya drops 20 years ago.
This is not the only time Kwangya appears in the comments.
Okay. I love it. We're trying to make lore happen.
We love a conspiracy theory.
So this first album is the biggest one. It has 15 tracks on it. From all of the people that we mentioned earlier. And I think one of the biggest ones to call out, because it was very, like, it seems to have been popular. I couldn't find sales information, but just like based on the way it came up in videos, I was like, I think people liked this song. And that was Shinhwa's song, Hero. So yeah, this song, even though it only appears on the SMTOWN album, they got a full music video for it. It's like black and white and like very dramatic. This girl's like trying to learn how to dance, but like, oh, she's struggling. And the Shinhwas are like punching. Like, I don't know. It's very like, it's just very like tough or whatever. But I think this song fucking slaps. I think it's great.
It is. I mean, Shinhwa, I feel like always has the most perfect like boy band music of the time. They just like really captured something.
Yeah, I did like I always do, because I need to see the data when we do episodes like this. Made a whole spreadsheet of every song and like noted, you know, what they sounded like or who wrote them to look for patterns. And I think I wrote next to like every Shinhwa song like it's boy band music. Like, I don't know how to describe it other than like it's boy band music.
Exactly.
But also Fly to the Sky also had a promoted single on this album called Forever. And they did a music video that was like clearly filmed in Sydney because like the opera house is behind them and they're in their signature white tank tops.
Great. Love
just
it.
like fucking singing with their arms out. And they did it on music shows. And I kind of fell in love with Wani from Fly to the Sky while I did these episodes. He looks so hot in all these videos and his voice is so good. And listen to him just destroy this line in this performance. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just love his like husky. His voice is like so husky and he like does his runs and like it's great. But anyway, this album also featured BoA's Amazing Kiss, which had been previously released as a Japanese track. So this is the only place the Korean version of Amazing Kiss exists. And then they also have a remix of the SES song Just a Feelin', which had come out earlier in that year in February, but this is like literally a club mix. Like they just added a under it and like made it a club song. So those are like the two like re-releases on this. And then there was the main SMTOWN and then two like full comeback tracks. So like they made the most of this one, I think.
Absolutely.
Next up in 2003, on June 23rd, they released 2003 SM Summer Vacation and SMTOWN.com. They kept the title. This album only went to number 6 on the album chart, and it only sold 46,000 copies.
Wow.
So that is a
huge
difference from last year. And the main group single of this one is called Hello, Summer. There's exclamation points after both. The people in this music video are Kangta, Heejun, BoA, Shu from SES, because SES is done now and she's the only one left by 2003. Isaac and Jiyeon, who were new at this point, Fly to the Sky, Milk is Still There, and Blackbeat. And the music video for this one was literally remastered this week. It felt like a beautiful sign. I was like, I'm glad we did the episode late because now there's a fresh, clear music video for it that wouldn't have been there if we did it 2 weeks ago. But this one is like filmed on a beach resort. Everyone's wearing 2003 clear sunglasses. I yesterday went and looked for pictures of me in my favorite clear sunglasses. I found some. I don't know why we didn't care about our eyes in 2003, but clear sunglasses were cool as shit. There's shirtless volleyball, sailboats, belly button rings, shoes, boobs are like very out in this video. They have jet skis. They go parasailing. And then there's like a set piece of them just goofy dancing on a beach. Like the boys are just like showing off and doing
and
real
one of them gets like a kayak
shit.
Paddle at one point and they're like swinging it around.
And everyone's just laughter and joy. And it just like is good vibes.
And it has a really funny like boingy title card at the beginning. Like the Hello Summer like boing boing like in like to tell you what it is. But yeah, there's way less English in this song than in the previous one, almost like very little, and nothing too outlandish. Like at one point they take the time to spell out SMTOWN or whatever.
SMTOWN.
But then the main lyric is just like, we're gonna party till it can't be done, then we're gonna lay back and catch some sun. So it's just like a chill
There you go.
party summertime song. So this one was just recently remastered. So the most recent comment is from 13 hours ago as of this recording. So people are watching it. It's new. And literally everybody is just begging for them to start doing more
just do
of
it
this.
again.
Like just keep doing this, but like with new people. And then my favorite comment was one that said, "Can't believe I was born the year this was released. First and second gen must have been so much fun."
Wow.
So to that person, we have episodes about the first and second gen. You can dive
Just
in
for
if you want
you.
more fun.
This album also had 15 tracks, so it's the same as the last one. But this one is different because it has multiple SMTOWN tracks, and I say that in quotes because it's only a few members at a time, but they had more tracks. And I also think that because they flew to whatever this resort was, they like wanted to film some more music videos. So the first one is called Paradise, and it has Fly to the Sky, Jihoon, Jiyeon, and Hyunjin. And it sounds like this. Let's go out there. He's so cute. Come on. This little visor.
Look at those guns.
So the music video for this one just has those 5 people, like mostly on a boat dock, standing in groups or being alone and singing the song. Shu also had a song on this album called Like a Lover, and she performed it on music shows in a really crazy outfit. The other SMTOWN song of Heejun, Shu, Boa, Jaewon, Hyunjin, and Jaeyoung is called Summer in Dream. So kids boppy or some like I don't know, sing along song.
Totally. Like, and the music video looks like it's just like extra footage from the main music video.
It's just all like the behind the same, them, like
they're wearing the same outfits,
taking pictures or filming the other stuff, but they put like a really gauzy like white border around it.
And it's just like them like being photographed like on this beach.
So the other SMTOWN song on this album had Kangta, Dana, Jihoon, Jiyoung, and Jiyeon again. And this one's called Journey Through Painting or Take a Walk Through a Picture. Like it's, translated a lot of ways. This song is so wild because the first opening chorus is the tune of Feliz Navidad, and they're singing about how the people in the song got in a fight at Christmas, like their relationship. Christmas was bad, winter was bad, so like let's have a better summer or something. Okay. But they melodically use Feliz Navidad and they say Christmas like 17 times, and it's so jarring in this very like cheesy
because they're
song.
Like standing in front, they're like looking like they're on some kind of in a tropical location in like summertime clothes in front of a tiny plane, so like they're obviously not celebrating Christmas. So the juxtaposition is
they
odd.
just keep saying Christmas, and it's very strange. But so, those were the SMTOWN songs on this album. And also, they released a remix of Shinhwa's song, I Pray For You, and put out a, quote, new music video for it. But it's just concert footage. Okay. I'm assuming, based on the border on all these videos, that they did, like, release a DVD for this. Or there was a DVD in the album or something. So they, like... made videos.
Well, because SM, we've talked about this in many different episodes, but they also do almost yearly like SMTOWN concerts where they have all of the different artists like come, and then so a lot of groups like The Grace and Milk or whatever, like they only ever performed on these albums and then on these tours. So there does seem to be in a few of the different music videos we have on this playlist like SMTOWN footage from the concerts. But
this album, like, it was mostly all the people in the video, but there was a track from someone named Yoo Young Jin and a track from someone named Chu Gayol, and they're like not in any of the videos. They must have been signed to a subsidiary somehow or something. So they got a track on this album, but they're like not part of it.
Interesting.
Which was interesting. All right, moving on to 2004. June 29th, 2004. Once again, it is titled 2004 Summer Vacation in smtown.com. This one went to number 8, sold 41,000 copies. So like a little worse than last year, but like still not reaching our first successful album. The cover of this one was a whole group shot. Everyone like sitting in that same blue colored background. I didn't say that the last album, which I thought was weird, the 2003 album, only has 8 people's headshots on the front. Not everyone. Just a couple of people, just like Kangta and Boa, Fly to the Sky. Like I don't know why, but only some of them made it to that album. But 2004, back to a whole group shot. They're all wearing white. They look nice. And yeah, the main group single for this one was called Hot Mail. So the featured players for 2004, we have, again, Kangta Heejun Boa, Shu, Isaac Jian, Fly to the Sky. Now we have The Grace. Blackbeat is there, and this is TVXQ's first appearance on an SMTOWN album, and they really make an appearance.
Absolutely.
They're cheesing so much in this music video. And the music video for this one is like a pool party at like a water parky kind of pool. They are swimming with their clothes on, which is uncomfortable, but there's so much boy girl touching in this music video. It's like shocking.
Yes.
Like a shocking level of boy girl wrestling in water. I was like, how did they get away with putting this out? Boa's hair is extremely long.
Oh, like to her waist.
God, it's so beautiful. And yeah, everyone's just, they do this, they repeat the same goofy dance that they like established in last year's music video. They like carry that through and they're just like having so much fun. It's just good vibes.
Yeah, it felt like High School Musical ending credit song because like they at a certain point, like they're all in a line by the pool and then they're like all in a line by the beach and like they're just, then they have their little like close-ups or whatever. So yeah, very Disney summertime again. But the lyrics, there is the opening verse is in English. It's like a rap or whatever, like the whole SM crew back again. And I think that we talked about this song in our TVXQ episode because I believe, has a bit of a rap in English or whatever. But then there's nothing too crazy in the English of this song. There's a rap in the middle of the song that says, "Get down with the sound of SMTOWN, feel the breeze from the heat and the sand on your feet. We're gonna take y'all on an escapade." And I really liked the use of the word escapade.
Well, the Hot Mail was written by our friend Kenzie.
Hey,
Kenzie is a Hot Mail. Hot Mail is a Kenzie song.
Amazing.
Okay, so I straight up. Oh wait, you have music video comments.
Oh yes. Okay, so the most recent comments are from 10 days ago. So also still being watched. However, all the most recent comments are in Korean, so I could not read them.
Right.
But I did think it was funny that you brought up how much boy-girl touching there was, because from 5 years ago, there was a comment that said, if they did this now, can you imagine all the fan wars and rumors that would come out? And I thought that was really funny, because I was like, it is like pretty, like, it is pretty, whatever, like, goofing around and like physical or whatever. And I was like, I couldn't imagine if like EXO was in this or something, like the chaos that would ensue. But we also thought that during the like Girls' Generation 2 p.m. like Kabi song, like how was that allowed? But I don't know if that was really...
I think that's the weird thing is like based on some of the stories that I've pulled up in our first gen episodes, like the fans were never okay with it. It always made them mad. But at some point they stopped
did it
anyway.
Yeah.
But they used
at
to
first
just do
they
it
didn't
anyway.
Care. And now
they
now
care
they
so
do.
much. Okay, so I like straight up lied and was not paying attention to how many tracks there are on this one, because this is actually the longest one. It has 16 tracks. Including, as we talked about in the TVXQ episode, they released a single called Drive, and it has a music video where, wouldn't you believe it, they drive.
What?
And yeah, there are so many songs on this album. A couple of them I really love, I'll talk about later, but I did think it was crazy. There's a song on here by Yu Young Jin, who I brought up for the last video, and it features Coolio. Coolio has a feature on an SMTOWN album. That's so random, and I love
it. Coolio. Oh my God. Wow. What stars had to align for that to happen?
Yeah, I'm so curious. Moving on to 2006. So we skipped 2005. They didn't do
a summertime one.
June 20th, 2006. This album is just called 2006 Summer SMTOWN.
Dropping the .com.
This one went to number 4 on the album chart, but it still only sold 40,000 copies, but maybe it had less competition. And the album cover for this one is a departure from the last couple because it's a group picture, but it's like really bold yellow like letters that are like some SMTOWN, and there's like a kind of cartoony like mountain behind them, so it sort of gives like summer camp vibes, but there's also like black and white hot air balloons
weird
all in the picture for some reason, but it has like, it seems to give more of like a summer camp, like they're all on risers like at the summer camp on the front of this one. And the main title track's English title is Red Sun. So the 2006 SMTOWN song features Kangta, Boa, The Grace, So Hyun-jin, who was a Milk but was just like solo on this album, Blackbeat, TVXQ, and now we have Trax and Super Junior in the mix.
Yes,
all
the
13
baby
Super Juniors. So the music video for this one is definitely a departure because it is like a full green screen, shitty animated background. They didn't take them to a single beach or even try to be outside. It's not outside.
No, not at all. The visuals are super, super different and like very cheap and silly. But they do have the lyrics on the bottom for all of it.
I think it's because it's a fan upload.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
oh,
it's
okay,
not on any
That
official
makes
channel.
That makes sense. But I was like, this is just like a full on like Disney sing along track, like with these like bouncing lyrics on the bottom.
But yeah, it's just like close-ups of individual members and groups. And then there's a part where they're all in a line and doing like a little step touch choreo, but it's clearly not actual choreo because like people start doing it different. And like I think they were just fucking around. But I love the chorus of this song. I think it's amazing. It's like so catchy, and all of their like harmony of like all 30 people's voices is just really nice. I like it.
I mean, most of these songs are all like pleasant and fun. Like none of them have been, some of them are a little cheesy, but they're like not unpleasant to listen to in any way. But yeah, there is an English opening rap, and it lasts for 2 verses. But it's not super strange. The funniest part was the part where they go, "The way of your move. Who? It's you. You make me feel a paradise. Well, actually, it's a summertime."
It's a summertime. This was a Kenzie as well. Kenzie wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs on this album.
Wow.
So this is Kenzie's album.
The most recent comment on this music video was from 2 months ago. And most people were just like, first, I saw pretty much every comment referred to this era as the golden era of SM, which I thought I was like, that's debatable.
It's a little
I would
premature,
argue. Yeah, I was
think.
like, I think that's premature, but okay. And multiple comments were saying that they saw references to One Piece, like the anime in this
One
music
Piece?
video, but I don't know that anime at all, aside from like that it exists
And that it's been on for like 20 years and has a bazillion
and it like still is
like,
on
episodes.
or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I know about that show, so I couldn't tell you specifically what the references are, but according to the comments, the music video has references. I don't know if that's true.
All right.
But the one comment that I wrote down because I was like, oh, bless. It was from 6 years ago,
Oh, no.
crying over the TVXQ breakup.
Oh, no.
And like they said, SM, why did you stop being this amazing? Like what went wrong? And then they continued like crying about how their ultimate group like wasn't together anymore. And it ended with, always keep the faith, and like 1,000 red balloon emojis.
Oh,
and I was
man.
like, are you still hoping that they'll reunite? Like, no.
That is very sad.
Heartbreak emoji.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Always
Well,
keep the faith.
Always keep. I can't begrudge people any of this stuff. Okay, so this album had 11 tracks, but one of them was an instrumental version of Red Sun, so
Okay.
kind of only 10, including the special released single, which we haven't done for the last couple, is Super Junior put out the song "Dancing Out." So Dancing Out was Super Junior's 4th release ever. I'm sure we covered it in their deep dive, but like this was like one of the first things they did after their like debut comeback. So all 13 of them are still in this music video, and it looks wild. There's a part where they like do a dance battle, and you're like, holy shit, there are so many of them. But yeah, the music video is mostly them walking around a city. I couldn't clock exactly which one it was. Like buildings didn't look familiar to me, but like
It's a
they
city.
went somewhere. And it's very colorful. Their like outfits are very bright, and like they're just like having
Almost
a good time.
everyone sleeveless with like a forearm sweatband, and I think I spotted a few fake tattoos on the biceps.
Yeah, good stuff. So that was the 2006 album. And also I wanted to note that in 2006, a few weeks after this album was released, was SM did a SM SMTOWN Festival 3-day concert. So that was the time that a concert correlated with an album. So 2007, we wait a little bit because 2007's is released on July 5th, not a June one. And this one's called 2007 Summer SMTOWN. This one went to number 2 on the album chart, but only sold 35,000 copies. And the cover of this one was really interesting because the main vibe of this album was like a photo thing. Like all the pictures of everybody, they're like holding old timey cameras, and it was like kind of like a scrapbook vibe. But the actual jewel case the CD came in had like an extra layer where there was like blue goo inside. So It like looked like a wave and was supposed to be like a wet summer album. But I found a video of somebody who unboxed one like a couple of years ago, and all the liquid was like dried and crusted, and it was not liquid anymore. So those weren't built to last, but I thought it was cool. They tried to do something interesting with the packaging. So the main group track for 2007 was called Let's Go on a Journey. So the people in this music video, we've got Kangta, Boa, Just Isaac, no Jian, The Grace, TVXQ, Super Junior, and then these were interesting. A Chinese singer named Zhang Liyin, a Japanese singer named Lee Ayumi, and both of them I looked up, they had like extremely short-lived contracts with SM like at this year or whatever, and they don't have songs on the album. They're just in the group music video, and I thought that was really interesting. And now we have a different milk left over in this one named Park Hee-won. So that's who's in this music video, and it is an interesting music video. Like it feels like they lost the thread on what made these fun, because the music video for this one is just fucking recording footage of everyone recording it separately. And like, I don't know, we lost the magic here.
It starts with them like talking to the camera.
They all go SMTOWN.
Yeah, almost like a documentary or something. But then they're all separate in the sense that like they did it one group at a time or whatever, and they have like scenes from them doing the photo shoot and then recording, but they're not all together as a group. And it's all inside because they're like in a dark recording studio. So it doesn't feel very summery.
It's missing the summer vibes.
Although this is my favorite of the like grooves. I love it so much. It reminds me of like an ending like Hairspray number or something. Like it's just, you said Tina Turner as well, which definitely. It's just so like big and like the chorus is really fun. I love it. But the lyrics, there's almost zero English in this song. There's just a little like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Eunhyuk says check check, and that's literally the only English that's in it. But the whole song is just like, let's go on a trip like over the mountains into the canyons, your hand in mine. But the most recent comment from this was 4 months ago, so people are still coming back to this. But I thought it was really funny that there were some person in the comments were like, at this timestamp, so-and-so sings about Kwangya, like, oh my God, blah. And so many people like latched onto it and like, oh my God, I can't believe it, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this can't be true, obviously. And it literally took a 2-second Google to fact check this. And it's not at all what he's saying. He's saying the word hyanghaeso, not
Kwangya.
Kwangya. So just to clarify and clear
Sure.
the air, no, there are no specific Kwangya references in any of these songs or music videos.
Yeah.
For the official record.
Yeah. So to explain why this song has no English and sounds so retro and vibey is the thing that makes the 2007 SM special is that it's all cover songs.
Gasp!
This song is from 1987.
Ooh.
Let's Go on a Trip is from 1987. And then we have, I'll play a clip of it because it is different, Super Junior covering HOT Happiness. Yeah, so this is that HOT, I think like their first or second song, but instead of doing the like gravelly singing, they like actually sing the song. So it's a little
nice.
different. And in the music video, there's scenes where they're all dancing in the same like white pant, striped shirt, blazer like Luke. And then they're otherwise like working out and going shopping and being goofy.
Yeah.
Being very goofy. But this album also featured, I want to list them all because they're cool. There's Boa had a song called Eve's Warning that featured Shindong, and this is a Park Mi-kyung song from 1995. TVXQ does Christmas in Summertime, which is a 1989 song by Lee Jung-hyun. Kangta did a song called Story of Last Summer Night, which is from 1985 and was sung by Kwon Jin-won. And then The Grace does a song called Festival, and I couldn't find the original year of the song, but I think it was done by someone named Ju Young-hoon. Then they also do a song, another SMTOWN, like just a couple of them. It's Junsu, Changmin, Sunday, Lena, Boa, Ryowook, I can't ever say that name. Ryowook and Yesong, and it's a cappella.
Ooh.
And that song is from 1981. And then they also do a cover of Under the Sea from Little Mermaid. And I couldn't get a list of who was on that. It could have been everybody. There's no like music video or list, but that was another like SMTOWN one. So this whole album was covers, which I think is cool. And I liked that so many of them were so like 80s and old because I feel like that is the kind of cheesy vibe that they're like going for in these albums.
Absolutely.
So just like reaching back for that, I feel like was a cool choice.
Yeah. It's also nice because this, and like only one of the other albums we've talked about so far has had multiple SMTOWN tracks where it's like not just each track is by a separate artist, but they have like multiple people on it. And this one has like 3 or 4 of them, which is fun.
Okay, so we don't do anything in 2008. And then in 2009, I thought this was very odd.
Yeah, we changed the game entirely.
We changed the game
in
entirely.
2009.
And this is the last. There are no more SM summers after this. They decided to put out 4 singles instead of a full album. So the first single was called Seaside Retreat, and it featured SHINee, TVXQ, and Super Junior. And the song's called Boom Boom. Yeah, they did make a music video for this one. When I first found it, I thought it was a fan edit because it's just like it's just clips. It's just like clips of them on stage, the different groups, like some of them are slow-mo, just like edited together in a fan edit kind of way, but it's on the official SM channel. They made this.
Yeah, but it looks like most of the concert footage is all from different like SMTOWN concerts as opposed to individual shows because most of the people in the crowd have like multiple colored balloons and stuff. So yeah, but it's just a compilation.
I will say there is a like towards the end of the music video during this like rap part, there is so much giggly SHINee footage and they are such bitty itty bitty babies.
Even just hearing their itty bitty baby voices in this song, I was like, no, stop it. Okay, but this is our most egregious Sminglish.
Oh goody.
The whole first verse is in English. And there's like a couple of like, come ons, babies, like throughout the thing or whatever. But the very first verse says, "Aloha, this is SMTOWN from Korea. Amigo, bring it on now. Put 'em shades on. Put 'em in your pocket. Don't you want to go, girl? Gotcha, gotcha, yeah. Shaka, shaka, hey." But that's just the opening verse. Because then in the middle of the song, we get a rap that says, and this isn't the whole thing, this is just the good part. It says, "Seaside, that's right. People love each other. Take a ride. Hot girl, please don't take off. Bring your makeup. Move your hot butt." Move your hot butt.
That's really great.
Oh, that made me laugh for so long. The most recent comment on this music video was from about 5 months ago. And the most recent comment said, "This would just be all NCT now." They redid this, which made me laugh because when we've watched the most recent, the New Year's Eve
Their
shows
Kwangya
or whatever.
shows.
Yeah. Their new Kwangya shows. And it's so many people who were like, "I don't know if I know that face."
Yeah, I don't know you.
It's a whole different group of people now, but everyone was just crying over these 3 groups being together and loving the little trio.
It's an interesting little moment in time, which I'll get into. So the other single released was SHINee's single, and it is called Scar. Yeah, this is, I mean, you just heard it, but this is just a very fast paced, but extremely quintessential early SHINee song. I was just oh, this is just the SHINee song.
It's
just
also
an early SHINee song.
Not about the summer at all.
No.
It's a super dramatic breakup song that's "You scarred me, come back to me," etc. So yeah, there's nothing summery about it. There's no music video for it either. But this one had a comment from just 3 days ago, and everyone mostly is just missing Taemin. But I did also see a lot of comments that were like, "Wow, Taemin has really grown as a singer."
That's a really nice way to put it.
Which is true.
They did perform a special stage of this at a special outdoor M Countdown, and I put it on a music core, excuse me, a special outdoor music core. I put it in the playlist, and Kiboom has a tank top on, and I was so shook by it. You don't wear tank tops. He doesn't wear tank tops.
It's true. It is rare to see him.
But he was wearing a tank top, armpit hair, and everything. And I was
Gasp.
Key. Because on that recent I Live Alone, when he was
2022
wearing...
Kibum would never.
Because on the most recent I Live Alone, when he was just wearing his life vest, Mino told him he looked vulgar with his arms out. Ew, no.
Mino.
The next single was Super Junior's, and it is called Carnival. There's the vibe.
Oh, that is a summertime song. It is.
This one also didn't get any music video or anything, but I did find a video of them performing it at Super Show 2 in 2010. They're all wearing goofy animal hats, and it was a walk around and wave to the audience part. There's no choreo or anything.
Yeah, and there's very little English in this song. They literally just say "Summer Carnival" a couple of times, and there's one "Party started," and that's all it is. But the most recent comment on that video of them performing it at the show was from only 4 days ago, and everybody's missing Super Junior in that comment section.
There you go. And then the final single was TVXQ's, and it is called 1234 parentheses Nothing Better. So this video, more than any of them, this song has literally nothing, because this was released literally weeks after JYJ sued to get out of their contracts.
Yeah.
This was a true turmoil moment song. And it's a real shame because it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it's so, so good. Changmin wrote the lyrics to this song. So there's no English except that they say "nothing better" 4 times. That's it. But it's a really, really beautiful, poetic love song. It's not sad. It's not a breakup song. It's just like promising everything to the person who is your everything. The lyrics are really lovely. Like, strongly recommend finding a translation of it and reading through. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful. But yeah, it's interesting that this correlated with the like lawsuit and that like extremely whatever tumultuous time in SM, because this is like the last of these SMTOWN summer releases. And I almost wonder if that's kind of why they stopped doing them, like not necessarily as a direct consequence, but maybe like they were just dealing with so much shit that they didn't have time to like put together this SummerTown album or whatever, or SummerTown, this SMTOWN summer album. And so then it just like, and then like years passed and they just like never did it anymore. I wonder if it just like made them fall off the wagon in that sense. You know, like it just disrupted the routine. It's just an odd coincidence that those two things would have like that this happened at that time and then we never got another one of these.
Yeah. Yeah. I also just wonder if it was like a symptom of just like K-pop itself, like growing so much in this time of like, it was really easy in 2003 to put the whole company on a plane and go film a beach music video. But maybe by 2009, everyone's so busy.
True.
You can't even get them all together or anything. Or like, I don't know, maybe they just got cheap or like they clearly didn't like sell that amazingly. So maybe they didn't feel like it was worth it. I don't know if the winter albums do better. I think they do because there's way more of them. And maybe it's easier to sell people on a winter compilation album than it is a summer album, because like I said, these all have like a very derivative, cheesy, like summer vibe that is like a little weird. But I was just so surprised that they stopped in 2009 and that the 2009 one was only boys, because I now know like it makes no sense because I would have seen it by now, but like I really thought Girls' Generation got in on one of these.
Yes, I was literally
like,
just gonna
not
say
at all.
It's so odd, and like I'm going to be very intrigued to see, because there, like you said, there's so much more of the winter albums, so maybe we'll get the girl groups on the winter albums, but like yeah, there's no one on here. Like after SES Milk and the Grace, like Boa is the only like female
She's the only girl
who
left.
appears. Yeah. So we have no Girls' Generation. Like there's no FX. There, and then obviously like they didn't last long enough to put a Red Velvet on there, so like it's just very odd. It's just such a boys club, which I guess SMTOWN or SM is a boys club and always has been, but these summer albums in particular, like I will be interested when we get to the winter version to see if we get a bit more diversity on there. But yeah, like the last track, or like one of the last tracks, only had Shiny, Super Junior and TVXQ on it. Like I don't know, odd.
Yeah, very odd. Very odd. But it was fun to look into these, and like I made a playlist of all of them on one playlist on Spotify. Oh, but I do have to say this because I thought it was crazy. Where's my note? On the 2004 album on Spotify, they have the song Through the Forest as sung by Heejun, Kangta, Isaac, and Jiyeon, and the song Just One as sung by TVXQ, but that's wrong. Through the Forest is TVXQ, and the other one is SMTOWN. And when you play it, like it's the TVXQ song, I can hear their voices, but it's like mislabeled.
Weird.
So just a warning. But I did like overall find these like deeply pleasant. Like it's just like nostalgic, cheesy vibes. There's like I just had the playlist on for like days, and there was very rare like, ooh, skip that. Like for the most part, it's really pleasant. But if you want some specific recommendations from these 75 songs or whatever, there's on the first album, there's a song by Donna called With For You that I just found super nostalgic. Like it just made me feel like a child. I just like loved it. Then Yu Young Jin, Only Good Love. Like the vibes of this song are completely different than every single thing on any of these albums. Like it's just a totally different vibe. And it also is really nostalgic in a different way, but don't listen to the lyrics to this one. They're very stupid. The English is very bad, not good. There's an Isaac and Jiyeon song called I Just Want to Tell You that also has like a really great melody and good vocals, and the cheesiness I felt was properly balanced. Like some of these songs are they like fall too far into cheesy. This was a good balanced cheesy. And then my absolute favorite, absolute favorite on any of these albums is a Donna song called Baby Come Tonight. And like, oh my God, the melody is like actually so good and the vocals are really fun to sing. And like, I don't know, it just like is perfect, really early 2000s girly girl pop. And I fucking loved it. And then my last recommendation is a Black Beat song called Shake. It has really nice harmonies, but the reason that I love it is because I found a video of teeny baby Shiny singing it and it made my heart so happy.
사랑해줄 거라고 그대와의 그 춤을 Shake, 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 shake 그렇게도 그댄 예뻐요
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. We learned on that recent Amazing Saturday that it seems like Shiny had to learn Black Beat's whole like discography front and back. Like that's what they gave them was like also, Black Beat songs.
And Black Beat were their vocal trainers.
That's true.
So
yeah.
I'm sure they were just like, learn this other song of ours.
Of mine. But yeah, I guess that's like it unless we have some final thoughts. But this was like a nice little exploration. And I think these are fun and cool. And if they'd kept up that like super camaraderie vibe of the first couple, like I think it would be so fun. And I wish that they did still do this stuff. Like I think it would have been a blast.
I totally agree. I think that it was a really fun concept and that to just like do in general and would have been a really fun tradition to continue because yeah, I mean, like we love all of their groups are very talented. And so like to put them all together, obviously there's not someone who's going to like, you know, drag everybody down or something like that. It would just be fun to keep doing it. And it's like unique. A lot of other people don't do it. But it just makes me think of like, I don't know, like the, you know, whole origins of the company model comes from like Motown and that structure or whatever. And like, I don't know. I don't even know if Motown released like compilation albums, but I feel like that's something
I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
Do. If they didn't actually. I just don't want to say definitively that they did because I can't fact check myself in the moment. But yeah, I don't know. It gives me like that kind of feeling of like coming back to the idea of like the company or whatever, because that's so vital and important to like the structure of K-pop. So I don't know. It feels like it just
feels like such a missed opportunity just knowing like as a SM stan and by the way, I know we mean it, but every time we say that, I just mean I like all of the artists. I am no company stan. Lee Soo-man can choke. Like, come on.
We don't support capitalism here.
But anyway.
But
I do love. Yes. We can't help it. But anyway. Everybody knows, every SM stan knows that like the Hope video from the end of any SMTOWN concert when everyone is in their pink shirts singing the same song and everyone takes different lines every time they do it, that it's the best thing.
Yeah, it's the best
Everyone
part of the
loves
whole
it.
Show.
They should just do it always.
Yeah. I almost wonder if it like, I mean, like you said before, it must have gotten more difficult to like organize the filming of the music video in particular. Recording the parts, like you can do that whenever they have the time. But like, yeah, getting everybody together, all their schedules to line up with your 35 NCTs, like to get them all to this like location
to a water park or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure that would be incredibly hard. But I forgot where that sentence was going.
I don't know. I was talking about I Love Hope. And when they do the Hope and they're all together and maybe it got too hard to do it.
It got too hard to do it. But, I was going to say, I wonder if it not only was difficult to schedule, but also wasn't as profitable. Like, it just wasn't worth
the return on the investment of it was probably not
especially
good.
Because
the first one
did so well.
250,000 copies.
And then all the rest of them couldn't even sell 50,000. Like, maybe they just ended up taking a big loss on these albums. And they were like, okay, never mind. This just isn't worth it. But, yeah. I don't know. At the very least, like a single would be fun if you can't put together the whole album. Yeah. Because I get it in that sense, like all of the tracks for the most part were original songs. It's not like you're just like taking a
repackaging shit.
Yeah, you're not just like repackaging B-sides or something, or re-recording new versions. You're like putting out full original songs. So maybe that is, and then nobody's buying it. So I don't know.
Yeah. But it was fun while it lasted.
It sure was.
And if you want to watch these music videos with us and hear me point out, like I had that top, I had those sunglasses, all those things, we are going to watch all of this beautiful content for our KPSN show this weekend. So go to kpsnfun.com and get your tickets.
Yeah, we're going to have a nice, fun supplemental episode. Supplemental reading. We love those. So come watch along with us. This weekend, if you're listening to it when the episode comes out. And we will be right back with a random game. All right, we are back. And this week, the random number generator gave us a super easy assignment. Absolutely.
Which is a girl group that we covered in our 2020 Support Girl Groups episode. And this is Boto Pass.
Yes, this is an 8-member girl group from WKSE Entertainment, WKSENE, and JMG. And they debuted in 2020 with an EP called Flamingo, which is what the title track was also called. And they are supposedly still together, but this is the only thing that they've released thus far. And
we might revive them. The way this show works, we keep getting these random girl groups and then news breaks about them immediately.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the random game will like work its magic again, but I was also thinking like maybe we'll also revive the SMTOWN SM albums. SMTOWN. Whatever.
The SMTOWN. The
SMTOWN albums. Who knows? But anyway, Boto Pass stands for Born to be Passion. And the only thing of note really that I could find aside from their debut was that their debut was actually delayed by a couple of months because 3 of the members are formerly of a group called I Love, and another former member of this group who is not in Boto Pass accused these 3 members and presumably the other members of I Love for bullying her, and so her and the company like got into a bit of a legal spat about it. The company pressed charges. They were eventually dropped, but as a result, the debut was postponed. And even though people asked for those members to be removed from the lineup, they were not. So the original lineup stayed, and all 8 members debuted with Flamingo, which is, I think, their only music video.
It appears that way.
They haven't released anything since this debut, which was 2 years ago now. But yeah, so that's what we'll watch. Flamingo.
I also just think it's interesting because I feel like I've literally never seen a number this low on one of these wiki charts before. And it is only for the month that the album came out. But the sales information for their debut album says that it sold 620 copies the month that it came out.
Yikes. 620. Ouch. I do remember this from our support girl groups. I remember specifically not loving it because it's called Flamingo, but they have a flamenco concept to it. And I thought that was lame. Mm-hmm. But here we go.
If you want to watch Boto Pass Flamingo, pull it up with us and press play when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so solo person in a room.
2 different rooms, a black room and like a white room, and different outfits.
And she's wearing black and red and black and white. I presume this is the same person in both of these rooms. Doing a sexy, dramatic dance solo.
I do like that long skirty thing.
Yeah, that is fun. And she dropped into like a little tango pose.
Okay, now they're in like a dirt floor barn.
Mm-hmm. And they're all wearing different like sexy black outfits with pearl accents. Like harnesses made of pearls and such. Oh, and diamonds. It's not all pearls. Oh, she has chains like in her braids. My goodness.
Is that a mortuary?
It does look like a mortuary. Yes, it does. Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Those are like people's ashes in there.
They have roses.
Yeah. So we're just going back and forth from like dancing in this dirty warehouse to like standing dramatically in the warehouse and sitting in front of this like mortuary. Okay, now here we have our little red outfits.
Oh my God, yes, I remember this because the chorus has a man voice, like really loud.
Yeah. Yeah, that love.
My
special
love.
Her pink hair is very pretty though. Oh, but then they're just like, I don't know, they just have shots of them being in like a creepy house. Every once in a while, one of them is wearing all white and they're paired with someone who's in all
they're,
black.
like, whispering at each other, creepy, and walking around each other slow, just doing drama.
Yeah.
Laying in laps and looking drama.
Yes. The choreo to this is pretty cool though.
They're
They
doing
have-
some cool shit.
Yeah, they have very cool formations. And there's like some fun partner work in a few places. But then this chorus
wiggles.
changes like quite a bit and it gets sort of like, it gets a little more bootylicious.
Oh
Ooh,
my.
sexy. One of them is like on top of the other one on a couch. Doing a little partner dance. Oh, the white outfits are almost like matador jackets, but they look more like marching band. See, the Spanish connection, like, but flamingos aren't from Spain, you guys. I wonder if this was supposed to be called flamenco, and they just didn't realize that it was spelled differently.
I don't know. But that they say like a flamingo. Like a flamingo.
Yeah, but what does that even mean? Follow me like a flamingo? Are they like known for following each
No,
other
I
around?
think they just stand around.
I feel like
They're famous for standing on
Yeah.
one lake and just standing around.
Yeah. A lot of questions. A lot of pops.
Boto Pass.
Born to be passion.
Well, there you go. We'll see if they get revived by us speaking their names or not. We'll find out. All right, weekly recommendation time. Do you have anything that you'd like to recommend to the listeners this week?
Maybe. I don't know. Do you have something to recommend?
I do have something to recommend. I would like to recommend the brand new, well, I guess maybe it's a week old, but the new Promise 9 song. It's called Stay This Way. And in a similar vibe to this whole episode, it's got like all my summer vibes, but it's like less cheesy than the 2003 version. But like it's got those vibes, like happy, fun summer vibes. It's a little disco-y. It's just very fun. And I think the choreo is really cool. Promise 9 does really cool choreography. And I just really like it. I've just been watching like every stage I can find of it. And I think it's great. I also think the WJSN comeback is great.
Ooh, I haven't watched that one
Ooh,
yet.
it's good.
Oh, good.
It's good. The beat, the beat hits so hard and the melody's really good. Yeah, so there's two recommendations, two nice girl group recommendations.
Great.
Promise 9, Stay This Way, and what is the WJSN song called? It's called, it just came out. What is it called? Last Sequence. So stay This Way and Last Sequence. Those would be my recommendations this week.
Great. Well, I don't have a recommendation for this week. I don't think. I've been like honestly, in preparation for our freaking end of the year episodes, I have like made myself a 2022 playlist and have been like trying to narrow things down, whatever. But so I'm going to give my rec to the patrons. And one of our patrons, they didn't sign this, but they recommended Stray Kids Circus. And they wrote, so much fun. I literally predicted that the next K-pop trend would be circus. The outfits and the set are so fun. Such a shame that it's just a Japanese EP, so it isn't getting much attention. So this is from the Stray Kids' latest Japanese release. And I guess it's just called Circus.
Well, there you go. And hey, that is a good prediction because I think you're right. There were like 2 circus-y stages on Queendom 2. So I think
Yes,
you're right.
that's true. Maybe a couple years ago it was cowboys. Now we're getting circus.
Get circus time. Yeah. But that is.
Oh, my girl Sunmi came back.
Oh my God. there's
Heartburn.
something.
I forgot. Yes, Sunmi, not circusy vibes at all. Very opposite. Although she does have really big set pieces in the dance, like huge fans or whatever. It's a very different summertime vibe from Sunmi. It's more like laid back and quiet. But the music video is her in like different time periods, just like murdering men everywhere she goes, and it's fun. The song is called Heartburn.
Great. I love that. Perfect. There's a bunch of girl power for you.
Yeah. And one stray kid.
All right, that's it for this week. If you would like to get in contact with us, we can be found at AMAKPopPod on Twitter and Instagram, AMAKPopPod@gmail.com for emails, patreon.com/AMAKPopPod for extra Patreon episodes. We'll be doing our KPSN show. We'll put that up on Patreon after it's over, but this weekend, July 10th, KPSN, kpsnfun.com for your tickets. Please come join us. The profits go to a good cause.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of stuff to see, not just us.
It's not just us.
But like we said, we will be filming a live episode where we watch all of these SMTOWN music videos. So we'll have a fun little watch along, and that episode will be subsequently released as a Patreon exclusive. So get your tickets to KPSN and come join us so you can see it too.
Join us. Linktree/AMAKpop for our Discord, our Spotify, and our YouTube. I have all of the videos that we will be watching and some other special, like the ones where I mentioned people got a stage or like I included all of those in the playlist. And there's a Spotify playlist of all the albums like in order if you want to listen to it. And yeah, I think that's all of our places. If I forgot any, I say them in all the other episodes, so it's fine.
The Linktree will get you everywhere
It
you
will
need
get
to
you
go,
where
I
you need
think.
to go.
And for more information on how to get your tickets, we've posted on it on our Twitter, so check that out.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully we'll see you this weekend at KPSN. Otherwise, we'll be back next week with a regular episode. Love you. Happy summer. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Cookie, say goodbye.
Say meow.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
No,
Nothing.
she won't talk. All right. Jonghyun, you're our inspiration.